As a scalper, there are certain prop firms that you need to go for to make your life easier. Sometimes your strategy isn't an issue, but it's the prop firm that you use. So today we're going to dive in the best prop firms that I know have the best rules, best regulations, best commissions, best spreads, so you can use these same prop firms to make your life easier when you're taking these prop firm challenges. Okay, now starting with the first, this is one that many people do not talk about. So we're not going straight to the big boys yet and the common ones, but Blue Guardian is one that I would use for a few reasons. Let's dive into it. So looking at Blue Guardian here, we can see that this is a prop firm that is backed by, Birmingham CE, and we can also see just below here that they are also backed by, I believe this guy's a boxer as well. So they do have big names that actually are putting their name basically behind this prop firm. Now we can run through the details on here, but let's go on prop firm match because this is the best place that you'll be able to run through every single detail all in one place. It's going to be extremely easy to run through this. Okay, so we can see that they have been here since 2021. So that's good. So it's been 4 years. So they're not completely new to the block. They're not a prop firm that just wants to come, grab money and cut. So that is good. That has gone through the test of time. That's very important. My prop firm needs to be an MT5. That's personally what I use. I need MT5. And they need to be able to pay out using RiseWorks, because I've found that most prop firms that pay through RiseWorks, they're able to pay you out not a limited amount, but a big amount. Sometimes not all prop firms can pay you a lot via crypto at once. But now let's dive into the actual metrics. Leverage. You need 1 to 100 leverage. You need 1 to 100 leverage. This is important simply because as a scalper, there are some positions you're going to want to take. You might have to split the positions, and a key thing I recommend is just split the positions into 2, and sometimes it allows you to enter that trade. 1 to 50 is also doable, but 1 to 100 is a sweet spot. Usually you don't need anything more than that. Next, we can see the commissions, $5 per lot. This is, I would say, just below the industry standard. I'm seeing most on $7 per lot. So the fact that it's 5 is good because, again, as a scalper, you don't want commissions to eat into your profit, and you would have to use bigger lot sizes. So as a result of that, you want to make sure that commission is low or it's going to eat into your profits. So you can see they do have one of the lower commissions, which is key. Consistency rule. This isn't one that I'm personally the biggest fan of, but it does help you to be a better trader. It does help you to not gamble. It does help you to stay in check, knowing that you can't just go for 1 to 16 one trade, then the next trade you scalp 1 to 1. You have a system in place that you have to follow. And for me, for those who trade in Sellers Academy, it doesn't apply, right? We go for pretty much similar profits every single time. So the number stays consistent. The P&L curve is very, very smooth. So this works for me as a scalper. I've been scalping since day 1, and that's still what I'm doing up to today. Now, this is a small fine print that's super, super important that you won't be able to find around. Copy trading. So usually if you go on the website, these are small informations you won't be able to find normally, but copy trading, there are times that I'm using my personal account and I copy trade onto prop firms. It's just easier that way because I mostly like to trade my personal in most cases, and then I just kind of, copy trade these to different accounts and manage them accordingly. So you can see right here, they do allow personal accounts copy trading. That's brilliant and fantastic because some do not allow this. This is something personally I need, right? And only a few prop firms are actually allowing things like this. And now we move on to the risk management part. They're allowing 3 to 4% on a single trade. Beautiful, because sometimes if you're scalping, right, if you're going for 1-on-1s, there will be cases where you might need to risk 2%, right? The benefit of scalping is that you have a good win percentage. So as a result of that, you can risk more than 1% because you know you're going to win often. If you're winning, 20% of the time, you can't risk 2% because you probably blow the account before your win comes. So as a result of this, it's good that they allow you to risk at least 2%, right? This is good because some prop firms only want you risking 1%. So you can see the benefits coming in. They're ticking all the boxes for scalpers. And then they have pretty much most accounts you're going to want, 3-step, 1-step, 2-step, pretty much all the options that you want are on there. So whatever suits you, you can go for that. So overall, brilliant rules, literally everything that I need. They also have balance-based drawdown, which is key. You want to make sure that your drawdown is consistent so everything can just be incremental. You almost don't have to worry about irrelevant things and just annoying stuff. Everything is kind of the traditional rules that is, all good to go. So Blue Guardian, definitely, if you're a scalper, check them out. So that way you have peace of mind, man. And next we have FundedNext for the same few reasons. MT5, check. Different pay methods, check. 1 to 100 leverage, check. You can see I'm mostly focused on the 2-step. In terms of the instant 1-step, 3-step, I personally don't dabble in those. FundedNext does have an instant right now that does seem pretty good, I must say, but the 2-step is usually the traditional that I've always gone for. It gives you that breathing room once you're funded, so that way you don't just pop the account, super quick. So that ticks the box as well. What's brilliant about FundedNext is no consistency rule. I personally love this. It's key. Most prop firms these days now have introduced this, but not having a consistency rule means you can just trade how you want. You don't have to worry about how you make profits. You don't have to worry about being limited in terms of withdrawals. So just having no consistent rules is brilliant, fantastic. I think the only place you will find that is on the instant, which most people don't go for, but on the instant, it's even 40%, which is pretty good. So the consistent rule, perfect. You don't have to worry about that for those who hate that consistency rule. In terms of payout and everything else, I've not had no issues with FundedNext. FundedNext was the first platform that I started using since day one, and up till today, they're still on my top 5 for sure. So overall, FundedNext is definitely there. Spreads and stuff are good. I've had no issues. Customer service is brilliant. They have a futures market as well now that you can dabble in if you do want to trade futures. So if you just want everything to do with prop firm trading, FundedNext is definitely one of your best bets. To just know that they will still stay in the game. They're not here to kind of rug pull or make a lot of money and cut. They've been in the game. They have a reputation to hold. So speaking of reputation to hold, that takes us to the third, FTMO. You know, this video wouldn't be made without mentioning FTMO. You have to give them their flowers for sure. FTMO has been here since 2015. Bro, most of you guys weren't even thinking about trading in 2015. You see the rating is super high. You have to give them their flowers. Like, there's not much to say about FTMO. All the platforms are there, different paying methods. Everything is just good to go. They have 1 to 100 leverage. They've kept the rules as consistent as possible. Their commissions are super low as well. If you're a scalper, I'm telling you, commission starts to eat because companies charge you commissions when you lose or win a trade. So that's why it's very important, because if you're losing, you don't want your commissions to be eating out of most of your profits, right? That's when you really feel it the most. No consistency rule as well. So everything is just in the green when it comes to FTMO. Like, if you want a prop firm legit and you just want to pick one, then you have these options in the video. These are like prop firms you can just stick with if you want to just stick to one and max them out. They also allow copy trading. Scalping is good on them. Profit margin is good, you know, the usual traditional 80%. So FTMO, I just had to mention them. If you want that staple one that is going to pay you out without having a doubt, then for sure FTMO just had to be in this video. It would be crazy if they weren't. Now let's hop onto the best sellers. Right here you can see some of the ones I've already said, already mentioned, but out of this list, I'll give you 1 second to guess which one the fourth one is. Boom, Alpha Capital Group. I've used Alpha now for a hot sec. They've also been in the game for a while. I must say, they've been in the game since 2021. Feels like they've been here for longer, I'll be honest. But maybe it's because I actually used them quite, you know, when they were in the early stage and still seeing them, you know, doing their job. Fair play. But ACG is one I've always liked. The Instagram is pretty cool. They have kind of like a somewhat good community, I would say. I think I've always liked their rules and stuff. And they are one of the ones that does offer raw spreads. Raw spreads, beautiful. I don't see many prop firms do this. Raw spreads is just fantastic, just because if you're scalping, is the best thing. You don't have to worry about spreads at all. So when you enter, you know your entry is perfect. However, commissions do chop. Commissions is gonna eat. So you want to make sure that your win rate is very, very good. You don't want to be really losing, because that's just going to eat into a lot of profits, because you lose and then commissions on top, and then everything just adds up. It gets crazy. So you want to make sure you're really winning these trades. That alone puts them in the top 5 for scalping, 100%. Just because raw spreads is just needed, man. On my personal account, raw spreads every day, any day. Because personally, I found that seeing spreads when I enter a trade and then it moves up, it then means I have to kind of sometimes hold my profit longer. And then there'll be times when I lose just because I move my TP a bit more to make up for the spread. So all of this has messed me up many times. I don't do it anymore. And then you can see that commissions, of course, is $5, but I'm pretty sure on the raw it's probably slightly higher. Consistency is there just for the on-demand payout. So if you're not trying to do on-demand, then you have nothing to worry about on that note. But everything else is good to go. There's literally, when I trade with ACG, I have nothing to worry about. I just get their account and I'm boom, and I'm going, because I just know that everything's going to be fine. There's no rules that I have to worry about. There's no funky stuff that is just going to happen. How I trade works with ACG. It's basically, they understand scalpers. They let you run and trade how you want with no issues. One thing is though, they do have max lot limits, so keep an eye on that, because if you're scalping, some people scalp the 1 minute, it can get crazy on the one, right? If you're doing a small tiny scalp, you gotta put like 100 lot on, then you're gonna have some issues. But this is, I think, is only a funded account, so you don't actually have to worry in terms of getting funded or passing, because once you're funded anyway, reduce your risk and then you'll be good, right? That's gonna make your account last longer. So technically it's a good thing, right? You don't want to over risk and then pop the account. So you don't have to worry about this, but do keep an eye that this rule does apply for you to, you know, this is something you have to pay attention to. Finally, we have one more platform, which is the Fivers. This is one that I just have to say, because they've been here since 2016 as well. So you can see that they're part of the big boys. They've gone through the test of time. They've gone through when platforms were struggling, and they are still here. And they just take every other box that I've pretty much mentioned as well. 100 leverage, all payout methods, everything is all there. C-Trade or MT5, as long as MT5 is damn good. $4 per lot is what they offer, and there's no commissions on anything else. So it's sweet. Whenever I trade, especially when I'm scalping, you might have noticed for those who watch the live trades, that I don't really like trading Forex pairs that much anymore because the commissions does eat. So it's best if you can trade indices, things like gold, things like NASDAQ, DAX, all of this stuff. Usually there's no commission, so it's a lot better. There's no consistency rule as well, so things clean on that note. And your challenge is just the general stuff, right? Pricing is pretty good. You have that confidence. They have the 8 to 5%, which is usually the standard. So that means you don't have to do a crazy percentage. That's one thing FTMO is a bit, they do 10 and 5%, I believe. So you do have to get 15% to get funded, but they have 8 and 5, which is 12. So a lot less to pretty much get funded, but pretty good. They offer discounts and stuff, so that's pretty good as well. You can use, you can even get 5% off right now. If you want to get a discount code for most of these, then on Profit Match, I think Cold Match, for most of them, you get some kind of discount for most of these firms. But as you can see, the reviews are popping off. 880 reviews. Reviews for this has been pretty good. So don't just go by my words, but you can see other people's words as well. Everything's pretty good. So these are my top 5 prop firms that you want to check out and use for sure if you want to start scalping, if you want that peace of mind and know that you will get payouts, get funded in the easiest way, because sometimes it's the prop firm and not you. Sometimes the prop firm makes it hard for you to get funded. But if you're using the best prop firms that allow you to get funded, then all you have to do is worry about your craft and being good. So if you found value in this video, then drop a like. And if you want to know exactly how I trade and learn how I scalp personally, then watch this next video.